Well, hello there, horror fans. It's Andrew here to give you a new horror movie review. The one I've selected on this particular time is called Thanksgiving. It's a brand new, just came to theaters, or the time I'm recording this, it came to theaters very recently. Um, this one is a Eli Roth film. He directed it. It was written by Jeff Rendell, but I mean, you can tell Eli Roth is all over this one. Um, this one is an hour 47, so a little longer than maybe most horror movies. It's rated R. There's some good gore. What else do I have to say? It's got 82% on Rotten Tomato. Fans gave it 79%, so both both are a plus for that. So let me just I'm probably going to do this one fairly quickly, just because there's not too deep of a story. The basis of the flick here is basically a group of high schoolers, and it's based around a group of high schoolers. There's a sheriff, which, okay, I forgot to tell you the cast, but there's not a lot of characters or actors that I recognized. So I was just like, I'll just give you the one that pretty much is probably the biggest name is Patrick Dempsey, who was in Scream 3, and I mean, just a boatload of other flicks. But the younger people in this cast, I wasn't too familiar with. They hadn't been in a lot of movies, so I'm just like, I'll just throw Patrick Dempsey out there just because he's the biggest name there. Anyways, and I'll jump back into this. So basically, this one kind of plays off of Thanksgiving and just how crazy it gets, like shopping wise. So it kind of starts out on a Black Friday, or well, Thanksgiving, back when stores were still doing that every year. I don't know if I know where I work doesn't do that. I'm not gonna tell you where I work, but it's not that hard to find out. Anyways, so there's a bunch of people that break into the mall because they see. I think it's like the store owners or somebody's daughter lets in her friends, and then people just go nuts. They break down the barricades and they start pushing and get through the doors, and people are just going nuts, trampling people, and people are just getting messed up. And from that, I believe it was the next year, a killer decides to wear a John Carver mask and wear a pilgrim outfit and slaughter people. And that's the basis of it. It's just a good old slasher, I feel like. Eli Roth's a pretty good person for that. I feel like the dialogue seemed very Eli Roth, even though I don't think he didn't do the screenwrite for it, but it seemed like his hands were maybe in it a little more. I'm sure he helped produce it too, so I mean, this is kind of his baby. The first, well, not the first Thanksgiving slasher, but a new, pretty fairly good size named film. But I will say it's a good mystery slasher gore fest. The kills are pretty awesome. The acting's so. It's not horrible, but not amazing. Like, you can tell it's just kind of a your typical slasher. Not typical in all ways, but you don't necessarily figure out the murderer until the end. I mean, I was throwing names out. I was like, okay, it's probably this person, and then I'm like, oh wait, but they weren't here at this time. Blah blah blah. So it's a cool. I like the mystery of it, and the brutality of the kills is probably top positive for this flick. But yeah, I mean, it just has the feel of a decent and good slasher. But it also plays heavily on the humor. So obviously, I mean, most holiday films don't really, they aren't like a, like deep, like super intellectual. I mean, you know what you're getting when you watch a holiday slasher. I mean, you're getting boatloads of gore and blood. Um, Cheesiness is cheesy I mean, intentionally. You got, I mean, high schoolers, of course, that are, fighting, and the typical drama that you get in a slasher or in teenagers type flick. Um, but yeah, no, I'm pretty satisfied with this film. I was hoping it wouldn't be horrible, and it wasn't. Eli Roth did a nice job directing this one. I think in the writing, the screenwrite for this was pretty decent. But that's not. I didn't have too terribly much to say. Um, Things that I would change. I don't know. Maybe specific actors that could have played a bigger part, maybe. But yeah, that's all I've got. Usually, I know I go a lot longer, but I didn't take notes, and it seemed to work out moderately okay. But I guess you guys will let me know, right? But that's all I've got for this one. Obviously, subscribers would be awesome. If you tell your friends if they like, I mean, if they like horror movies, to check it out and subscribe. Likes are cool. Movie suggestions are awesome as well. But without further ado, I shall see you next time.